Hey guys, Aaron here from Practically Every Day, coming at you with a full-on knife review. This is the Spyderco Paramilitary 2, and you don't need to watch my review to know that this is a favorite of the knife community. Spyderco has released this knife in sprint runs with all kinds of different steels. It has a proven track record on many popular channels. Nut and Fancy reviewed this, Cutlery Lover reviewed this, Smoke Eater reviewed this. Everyone has reviewed this knife. So bear with me if I don't spend an enormous amount of time. You can see a very in-depth written review on it on my website where I will go into painful detail. But for the sake of this full-on review, I'm going to do a brief overview, cut tests, and we're going to be done. So as you can see here, it has a relatively shorter blade, which measures in right around 3 inches, give or take. The handle is right around 4.5 for a total of about 7.5 inches, if you can do math. It has kind of this reverse liner lock going on here. Which is neat. It's kind of interesting, and honestly one of the reasons why I bought the knife, because I wanted to use it. One of the coolest things I think about this knife is how smooth it is. When you disengage the liner lock, the blade drops and doesn't cut you because of that front choil. It also has a very positive detent. The blade's locked in there, which allows you a good positive deployment on it there. Overall, the ergonomics on it are perfect. Both the military and the paramilitary have this sort of sloped handle kind of deal going on, and it fits your hand really well, as you can see. They also both have this forward choil, which you guys know I'm a fan of. Black G10 scales, they also came with camo or even orange or brown or all these sprint runs. There's really a collector's knife if you wanted to get into it. Spyderco kind of spoon pocket clip here, which works fine. It's not my favorite ever, but it's completely functional, and I've had no issues with it whatsoever. I've retained my knife perfectly. Full flat ground blade, great for slicing and cutting. I've cut paper with it, I've cut food with it, I've cut cardboard with it, which you'll be able to see here in a second. It works great for all of them. And it has CPM S30V here, which is a fantastic blade steel. Good edge retention, sharpened up nice. You can see kind of that mirrored bevel I've got going on. It's not perfect mirror, but it's definitely sharp from the Edge Pro. So that's about it. I'm not going to say an enormous amount more. It has a 4-way pocket clip, so you can carry it left or righty. It is a very favorable knife for left and right-handed carry. Yeah, that's about all I'm going to go into. Like I said, I'll write about like the collaborative makers and everything in the full-on review, but there are enough reviews out there that talk about that already, so I'm not gonna spend too much time on it. I'm gonna move on to the cut test, and we'll come back here and wrap it up. All right, guys. So coming at you with the first cut test for the Spyderco Paramilitary 2, the Apple cut test. As I say in all of my videos, I think that food prep is one of the primary uses of our EDC knives, and this is how I like to test it, just see how it slices a softer kind of food object and how it'll chop and cut and all that stuff. So let's see how it does. The one thing I will say from previous experiences, I know that the Spyderco, sort of this modified drop point leaf blade shape sort of thing, they're just great slicers. The full flat grind on these with just the sort of the increase of width towards the top of the blade really lends itself to kind of splitting stuff when you chop. They have a very fine detail oriented tip. You can get in there and you can cut just what you want to off of there, or just use it to kind of start the cut and then slide the blade forward to get to a thicker part to really pop a piece of it off. Just an all-around great knife, great blade shape. I mean, you've got sort of this forward choil here, so you can kind of get in here, and if you needed to make a little cut and just sort of dig something out, maybe a splinter or something like that, you can choke up on the knife and get a little more control, or you can come back for a good pull cut. So overall, this is probably no surprise, but the Spyderco Paramilitary is just a great all-around EDC knife, but it's good for stuff like this, food prep, slicing apples. I mean, you could even chops great. Edge retention is really, really good. So there you go. We will move on to the next test. Hey guys, Aaron here again with the second cut test, the Spyderco Paramilitary 2. This is the cardboard cut test. This is a freshly sharpened Paramilitary 2 from the Edge Pro. I just maintained the factory bevel on it and got it not to a mirror, but a pretty good little polish on there. But as you can see, I mean, this knife just like crazy. The leaf blade shapes really lend themselves to cutting and slicing. I have friends of mine who aren't quite as big a knife guys, so they don't know like Spyderco's reputation and stuff like that. Sorry if it's loud out here, there's some construction going on and whatnot. But they don't know Spyderco's reputation, and they don't care for the way the knives look, which I mean, it's fair. You know, I buy knives based on looks from time to time, but I love the way Spyderco's look. Especially the military and the paramilitary lines. So, I mean, as you can see, like, this cardboard is just, I mean, it's just going like crazy. Push cuts. Yeah. No big deal. So I'm gonna call that good, guys. The edge is still crazy sharp, still shaving sharp. So there's the final cut test of the Paramilitary 2, and we'll go back inside and throw it on the table and talk about it a little bit more. So see you in a second. Alright guys, so as you saw in the cut test, the Spyderco Paramilitary performed great. I think it is the perfect EDC knife for most people. A lot of the time I'll have people come to me and they'll ask me what I think they should buy for their first EDC knife. I usually sort of get an idea of their budget, and if it's right around $100, I say spend the money and get a Paramilitary. There are other options out there that are good, but another one of my favorite Spydercos, the Manix XL, that's just too big for most people. The Sage might be too small. This is perfect all the way around. So that's about it, guys. And like I said, I'm sorry if this review was sort of brief for you, but there will be a very extensive written review on practicallyeveryday.com, which is linked in the description. Please check it out. Like, favorite, and subscribe to my channel, and add my site to your readers, guys. I really appreciate your support. I look forward to your comments. What do you guys think of the Spyderco Paramilitary? So, I guess that's it. Aaron out of here.